Today I want to talk about one of the most commonly used bow strokes in string playing, which is spiccato. And basically spiccato I'm going to define as when the bow bounces off the string. I'm not going to talk today about what is known as sautiller, which is spiccato, which is this, which is a completely different motion. What we're talking about today is the kind of stroke that's completely controlled by the hand. And in order to get a good grasp of this, I think we should start in the middle of the bow, where the pressure between the hair and the wood is the softest. In other words, it takes the least amount of pressure to compress the hair all the way to the wood. And that point is where the bow is the most springy. And to get the proper feel of it, you could just take the bow and let it bounce up and down using really only the fingers, not the arm. You'll see that the bow bounces quite easily. This is the basis of the stroke in the middle of the bow. And in order to make sound, more sound than this, one has to only basically move the arm back and forth gradually a little bit more. As you can see, the position of my arm staying pretty much the same. The fingers are pushing the bow down and letting it bounce back up. Now, in the middle of the bow, the stroke has its limitations. It can only get so long. You can lengthen it by lengthening the length of your stroke with the arm. And it can only get so loud because you can only hit it so hard before you start to hit the wood and the other strings, because it's just too soft in here. What happens now, when you want to make it louder or longer or stronger, is that you have to come in towards the frog. But you'll see right away that the bow doesn't bounce by itself at the frog. There's too much weight on there from the hand. So, as you approach the frog, you have to actually start to pick the bow up and down yourself with your wrist. I'm now picking it up and down a little bit with my arm, with my wrist and my hand. As I come back out, I can let the bow bounce by itself. So these are actually two very, very different strokes, although they can sound exactly the same. Listen. From here to here is a completely different technique. I would use this if I wanted to make a crescendo. Stroke being right underneath the hand, but always controlled. It's like bouncing a ball, although only easier, because here the ball or the bow never leaves your hand. Also, in the middle of the bow, the lower strings don't squeak quite as well because there's not enough weight going down. So on the lower strings, you almost have to come in to this area of the bow to get a little more weight. So a scale in this kind of spiccato might start on the low string here and work its way stroke to practice. It's all throughout the chamber music and solo literature. And the next time we talk, we'll talk about the jumping or the sautiller stroke, which is so exciting and so often used in virtuoso playing.